Every year at CES, we get to experience some new and amazing technology in the world of cleaner, greener, safer, and smarter vehicles. And that, of course, wouldn't exist without autonomous vehicle technology. Now, here on the channel, we tend to focus on the technology at the consumer end. So we talk about Tesla's autopilot, we talk about ProPilot for Nissan, and we talk about all of those other semi-autonomous and autonomous driver assistance features. But today I'm here with Dr. Leilei Shinohara of Robosense, that's bringing a brand new product to market that is smaller than any other LIDAR that's been on the market before, as well as a new smart solid state LIDAR. Dr. Leilei, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
For those who don't know what LIDAR is, maybe we can start at the ground floor level.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain to me what LIDAR is and why it's important.
Yeah, okay. So LIDAR is the full name of the light ranging and detection. So then it's using the laser light to detect the distance of the object. So this is what is the LIDAR made for. So compared with, for instance, the camera, its LIDAR is using the light source to illuminate the object and to detect the light transport from from the position to the object and coming back, count down the time and to understand what exactly the distance. By using the LIDAR, we are able to detect the object in the accuracy of the centimeter accuracy. So then it's very precisely the detection. So the good thing also for the LIDAR is, for example, the camera, we're not able to see the camera, using the camera to see anything during the night. The LIDAR, it doesn't matter, or let's say the light condition is the night, or it's the early morning, or the very strong light. It doesn't matter. So it's detected in the different the weather conditions.
And obviously, LIDAR uses laser light technology,
yes.
Very specific frequency of laser light. And I always thought a bit about it being similar to the old-fashioned sonar that used to be used underwater, but instead of using sound, you're using light energy.
Exactly. So then, and active sensing sensors, including the sonar I had mentioned, is using the sound wave to detect the distance. So then we also have let's say the radar. Radar is using the radio wave to detect the distance. So then LIDAR is using the light wave to detect the distance.
Now, LIDAR systems traditionally have been very large devices sitting on top of autonomous vehicles. If we think about some of the first Alphabet, Google autonomous driving cars, they had those little pod-like electric vehicles with a big dome on top.
Yeah.
And we think of LIDAR as being this very large piece of equipment that is very unsightly and doesn't look very good on top of a vehicle. Now, Robosense has actually taken those really large LIDAR systems of 2 or 3 generations ago, and you've got something that's a lot more compact that you're launching this week. So tell us about that.
What do you say the big the LIDAR product which is sitting on the autonomous driving vehicles? So we call it mechanical spinning LIDAR. So then this is we say this is the first generation, the older generation of the LIDAR. So then what currently we are developing is we are trying to first to reduce the size and using the tiny MEMS meter to scan the environment, to scan the laser light. So because in compare with the big mechanical LIDAR, you have the motors, you have all the electronics is rotating together to scanning the environment. So then what we are using is just a very tiny, this kind of tiny meters to deflect the laser source and to deflect the light to scan the environment. So then this is why we are able to make the big devices into a very compact size, which is able to integrate into the vehicle. You can do it behind the windshield, you can do it in the headlamp area or in the grill area. So from the outside, you do not really see it very, let's say, and very easy to see it. So then it's a very good integration to the vehicles.
Right. So you get rid of that big bulge that you used to have on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
You can then put that technology behind the windshields,
Exactly.
which obviously has some benefits because it means that the system itself is not subject to all of the elements that you would have for older systems.
Yeah.
Now, you're bringing 2 products to CES this year.
Yes.
One, which is a new solid-state LIDAR system, which you're selling for just under $2,000 to OEMs, correct?
Yes, so then the $2,000, so let's say it's $899 and the dollars. So this is we are still in a we call it the sample. So then the sample we are able to not only to give to the OEMs but also to the tier ones, to all the different the players want to using the LIDAR for the autonomous driving vehicles, autonomous driving, the robots, and all the logistic, all those kind of the customer can use it. So then, but we still have a very, let's say, the customer specific project for the OEMs. So then at the end, for the final product, the automotive grade, the mass production product will be much less than the $2,000.
Great.
Yeah.
So academic institutions can also buy this product if they want
Exactly.
to. Can a hobbyist approach you and say, I want to develop a system and buy from you directly? Is there a limit to who can buy the system?
So then they do have some limited of the volume. So then, but it's basically it's open to let's say to all the customers. So then, for example, it's for the, as you mentioned, the universities they are able to buy through the institute to do some of the researches. So then this totally is possible. Yeah.
Okay, and the other system that you're demonstrating is a smart solid-state LiDAR.
Yes.
So tell us the difference between the regular smart solid-state LiDAR and then the one that you're is smart.
Yeah. Okay. So then this is let's say it's something like our eye and the brain. So then the simple sensor we are called is the standard hardware version. So it's only detect and the object provided the raw data, the raw point cloud data. But those kind of raw point cloud data normally is for example for the autonomous driving vehicles. If you give this kind of the point cloud, it's no use. It's because the vehicle cannot understand what is from this point if it's coming from let's say a truck or a pedestrian or a cyclist. It cannot tell what object it is. So
right.
Then what we are doing is for the smarter sensor, so we are using the AI-based the perception algorithm, which we developed especially for the 3D point cloud. And using our internal, we have the AI chips inside. So then this AI, the algorithm is running inside of the sensor. So then from the sensor, it detects and also it can tell what kind of object it is, if it's a car or a truck or bicycle or the pedestrian. So then it tells the autonomous driving vehicles what exact object it is. Yeah.
So it reduces the overheads needed for the car company because you're packaging all of the object detection in the unit
Yeah.
rather than having to rely on external interpretation from the onboard
Exactly.
autonomous vehicle systems.
Yeah.
So I'm just about to meet with Dr. Leilei and go over some of the features of the Robosense LiDAR system, and I'm in the Robosense demo car. Now, this is not an autonomous vehicle, but it is fitted with the Robosense LiDAR system. The reason being is obviously from a legislative point of view, Robosense are based in Shenzhen, China, and bringing a robotic car all the way from China over to the US is just an absolute nightmare from a legislative standpoint. And rather than obviously get a car that's approved to drive in the US as an autonomous vehicle, what Robosense are doing is that they've packaged one of their cars out with a sensor so we can see what its LiDAR systems see as you're driving along. And I've got a tablet in front of me showing me all of the road and all of the different vehicles ahead. It's in 3D. I'm seeing the cars. There's a car coming right behind me right now. There you go. And there's another one lane over. And it's seeing all of those and showing them up on the LiDAR. It's very interesting to see. You can see the cars coming in the other direction. Now, LiDAR is more accurate in some ways than a visual sensor and allows you to see both in daytime and at night with that same kind of accuracy that's required to keep autonomous vehicles safe on the road. This big truck next to me is showing up as a much larger blob on the landscape, and while you're not going to get the same level of accuracy as you would with a camera in terms of me being able to see exactly what's on the screen, this is a much easier system for the computer to interpret. It's seeing all of the buildings, it's able to portray how large they are, just using the mechanical LiDAR which is on top of this car and also the shortwave LiDAR on the side. And combined they give us a much enhanced vision of the world around the vehicle. Unfortunately, the new solid state LIDAR isn't fitted to this car, and so we don't get to see that in action. But what we do see is a vision into the future where we see what our cars are going to see. Of course, it's systems like this that are going to need to be trusted in order for autonomous vehicles to become mainstream. Yes, I know we've got Tesla Autopilot, we've got other semi-autonomous driver assistance features, but for full autonomy, LIDAR and other systems are going to have to work in concert, in harmony, in order to give full, comprehensive vision to the autonomous driving systems and make sure that there's absolutely no question as to what the cars can see. One of the challenges with the visual-based sensor system, in other words camera-based sensor systems, is that they don't work as well at night time, and also they're very difficult to discern in high contrast scenarios, as we've seen in the past with Tesla's autopilot system. When there's a lot of glare from sunlight and other systems, it can be hard to tweak those systems. Tesla's done a really good job, but LIDAR adds an extra belt and braces approach, which I think is probably going to become the norm. So the final question for you, Dr. Leilei, is Tesla has very famously said, you know, we don't need LIDAR. LIDAR is not worth it.
Yeah.
Can you explain to the viewers why Robosense believes that LIDAR is an essential part of an autonomous vehicle package moving forwards?
Yeah. The first priority for the autonomous driving vehicle is safety. So then at the very beginning, we developed the autonomous driving technology, try to avoid most accidents on the road. This is the really most important thing for the autonomous driving. Therefore, to do a safe drive, so then the vehicle needs to understand the environment perfectly. It's should be much better than the human drivers. Otherwise, it's to give the driving to the machine, to the vehicles, it's very dangerous. Therefore, so to make sure the perception, the detections, have the enough accuracy, even 0.001% of the error or the failure may cause an accident. So then, using the camera-based system or the camera plus the radar, it is possible to do the autonomous driving. It also is able to guarantee a safety system, but it will be under quite a lot of limitation. For example, as mentioned, the camera is very weak for the light. So for example, during the night, so then or in the parking garage or in the tunnels, and also sometimes even the daytime when you coming into the tunnel and come out the tunnel, this light the changes. So then this will be make the system failure for the camera system. So then this is what we believe. So then because the active sensor with the LIDAR, it's good for the to cover the weakness of the cameras. So then, therefore, what we are trying to do, we are having the LIDAR system is try to cover the camera, cover the radars, which they are not good at it. So then, and put it together, we have the camera, we have the radar, we have the LIDAR to put it together as a fusion system. So then, to guarantee a really safety enough the perception. So to develop, let's say, a camera to make the safety as the same as the fusion. This will be very difficult. It costs a lot. So then it's not impossible. So it just costs a lot. The camera-based, video-based system may be more cost than a LIDAR. So then, what is before as the Tesla is mentioned also is true, because there is not mature enough the LIDAR product on the market, which is let's say the reliability is very high, automotive grade, and very low cost. Especially the low cost the LIDAR sensor system until now is not existing. So then therefore this is what we are trying to bring down from the couple thousand or couple 10,000 of the cost of the LIDAR to a couple $100 dollars. So make sure the cost is very competitive with the OEMs, the car makers. They're able to accept this kind of the sensor into their the system.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Leilei. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So that's it from Robosense and LIDAR at CES. I'm sure we'll be covering more autonomous vehicle stuff as the week progresses. But until then, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You can support us using Patreon. send us a Ko-fi, or of course visit our swag store. I'll be back with more content for you all to enjoy, but until then, keep evolving.